Dizzy is a really flexible character who specializes in zoning, mobility, and set play. She has a ton of special moves that summon these really obnoxious projectiles that linger on the screen for a long time. Most notably, her bubble, which can be popped to create a giant hitbox, and her fish, which controls a lot of space on the screen and which can also absorb the opponent's attacks. Once she gets one of her summons out, Dizzy can use it as sort of a protective shield to get at another summon, which can quickly cause the neutral to get completely out of control. Some characters have a really hard time approaching Dizzy when she starts doing this. Because of this threat, most characters are going to try to rush her down, but Dizzy's also blessed with some of the best mobility in the entire game, which makes her really hard to catch. Her ground dash accelerates quickly, and it has a really good top speed. And she has a double air dash. She's the only character with a double air dash besides Milia, and this lets her reposition super freely. She can either run away from the opponent with double air dash back, or she can launch a kind of like surprise attack on someone who's trying to approach. On top of all this, Dizzy has pretty good far reaching normals as well, especially in the air. So she's really good at moving around to ranges where her long reaching normals will beat the opponent's approach, and then she can either evade or intercept, depending on what she's trying to do. Once Dizzy does get the hit, she has some of the best set play in the entire game. She can easily convert most grounded hits into a knockdown with her long range sweep, and from there, she has a ton of Okizeme options to choose from. Her double air dash and the fact that she can combo off of her throw gives her access to all kinds of left, right, high, low, and strike throw mix ups. And because her fish specials will absorb attacks, it's actually really hard for the opponent to mash out of these. Her damage off of these set play situations is also really, really high, especially with meter. She does have a few weaknesses that are worth mentioning. Mainly, her normals are a little bit on the slow side, which means in scrambles it can be a little hard for her to fight super well, and she has the lowest stun resistance in the game. So if you get counter hit 2, 3 times, she's probably gonna get stunned, and you're probably gonna die. Tier wise, most people put her around like the middle of the cast, maybe like high mid. I think she's around high mid, which I think is fair. She's a solid character in most matchups. I think she fights the top tier characters really well, especially Johnny. But she does have some struggles with characters like Milia and Chip, who can sort of outrun her zoning neutral and kind of ignore what she's trying to do with like her fish and her bubbles and stuff. Overall, if you're interested in playing a fast character who has good zoning, good damage, good neutral, really good set play, I recommend that you check out Dizzy. She's, like I said, my favorite character of all time. She's a really, really deep character, and she's very rewarding. Feel free to stop by the Dizzy Discord. I'll link it below this tweet. There's a lot of people coming back to the game, and people are super helpful. You can drop some match footage, you can ask whatever kind of questions you want. That's all I got. Peace. Play Guilty Gear.